mindfulness. Okay, so I am sharing with you text number 158 in the teachings to the assembly, the Sokchu of Kyobpa Rinpoche. So this one, it's called Supplicating the Guru with Devotion and Enhancement Practice for Special Insight. Maybe just practice in the singular. So the special insight mentioned here is specifically in the context of Mahamudra. So that means, you know, gaining deeper and more profound understanding about the nature of mind, which is the same as nature of all phenomena. Mind and phenomena, it says that if you understand, especially from the Kagyu Mahamudra perspective, there's tremendous emphasis that if you understand the mind, understand this one thing called mind, then understanding any phenomena is not going to be such a difficult thing. So that once you understand the mind, then you understand the nature of all things. In fact, in Kagyu Mahamudra, sometimes it's even emphasized that while other people, they say, meaning like other practitioners, might spend more time trying to analyze and understand phenomena, such as, you know, trying to reason into how things exist or things don't exist, or how they exist and how they don't exist, and all the various aspects of, you know, when they do exist, how they, in what way they appear, in what way they disappear. So they say that while you could try to learn about these things, since we all have very limited time, it's better that we learn the real object that the Buddha wanted us to see, which is the mind. And so here, special insight. The word is in Tibetan is laktong. Laktong is also the word that in Sanskrit is vipassana. You know? Of course, vipassana or vipassana in Pali has also particular meanings. So when the translators use vipassana here, I decided that, you know, let's not put vipassana because it might give our readers the impression that it's talking about a particular type of meditation, whether you associate it with the Burmese way of teaching vipassana, or, you know, this way or that way. That is better here, I think, to just put it as special insight, being one of the two qualities that you cultivate when you cultivate the mind. The other main quality of mind is stability or stability of mind. That means the mind doesn't wander. So also called calm abiding. I think again, you know, there is overall too much emphasis on technique, so that when we say calm abiding or when we say special insight, immediately our mind turns to, you know, oh, this way of meditating rather than this way of meditating, oh, this approach rather than that approach. But before we get into like the more technical method, technique-oriented meaning of shamatha and vipassana, or calm abiding and special insight, I think it's more important first to understand that calm abiding and special insight are two qualities of mind, the two main qualities of mind to be cultivated. And once we understand that, then, even a direct, a seeming simple object like observing breath, it's not so much that the practice of observing breath itself is shamatha or vipassana. In fact, people debate this. Oh, is this shamatha? Is this vipassana? Again, as we have looked, it's not the tool as much as it is how you wield the tool. It's not the tool as much as it is how you use the tool. So mindfulness of breath, sometimes it contributes to stability of mind. Sometimes it contributes to special insight. But these two are in the end inseparable. That would be how, I would say Kyobpa Rinpoche would also look at this issue. And again, I see it in some areas, such as like, for example, in the Theravada world, particularly in the Thai tradition, in the Thai forest tradition, they also emphasize, like it's not about shamatha as a set of techniques and vipassana as a set of techniques, but rather shamatha and vipassana are, two ends of the same stick. So one forest master would say, it's like picking up a stick. When you pick up a stick, you pick up the whole stick. And this stick has two ends. One end is calm abiding, the other end is special insight. So he says, don't do your meditation by being so fixated on, oh, now I'm cultivating this, oh, now I'm cultivating that. But understand that all your meditations that you do is to basically enhance. So here, as it says, enhancement practice for special insight is basically to enhance. Sometimes it's to enhance special insight. Sometimes it's to enhance stability of mind. Without stability of mind, the insight that comes is very fleeting. In fact, all of us have had insight, vipassana, special insight. V is a heightened, pasana is seeing. So heightened seeing, special seeing, superior seeing. So all of us have had superior seeing. In this context, all of us have glimpsed, right? Have glimpsed what? Have glimpsed nature of our mind. We have. But because our mind is not stable, what we glimpsed, fleeting. Glimpse, gone. Glimpse, gone. Yeah. And so if we don't practice stabilizing the mind, stabilizing our practice, then a special insight will not really be so special. Then, if we cultivate stability of mind, one kind of caution that is there is to say, but don't cultivate stability of mind as an end unto itself. Because when we practice stability of mind, when the mind enters even very preliminary states of stability, it can produce experiences that we tend to latch onto. Meaning, I'm feeling very peaceful now. So I don't want anything to disturb that peacefulness. And of course, nature of things is that change occurs. Then when change occurs, we get very upset. So stability of mind needs to be cultivated for the purpose of deepening, of anchoring superior insight or special insight. So here, this are some general comments about understanding the significance of special insight here. And so here, what is given here is a way to enhance your special insight, which is to supplicate the Guru with devotion. So this is a very Mahamudra flavored. So it begins by saying, Namo Rena Guru. So homage to the precious Guru. Unify the recipient, the intention, and objects, and make supplications. When one is free from the three obstacles, the result of whatever is wished for swiftly ripens. Yeah. So first to say here is to unify the three, which is the recipient, the recipient, the intention, and the objects. This set of three is often given or explained in the context of when you are engaging in the creation or the creation or the accumulation, the growth of merit, depending on the recipient, often called, literally is called the field, where you are going to plant these seeds of virtue, these seeds of merit. The field, choosing the field is an important consideration. So the Buddha taught, if you choose a field such as your parents, then the act of merit is stronger. Why? Because there is a natural debt that you owe them. And to be able to do positive things to help them, to support them, especially to skillfully give them the insight of Dharma, the benefit of Dharma. I said that is a superior field. And then of course the superior field is the Guru, the three jewels. So that's the recipient, the field. The second is the intention. So of course here then is the motivation. Why are we doing this? So the superior intention is bodhicitta. The object is talking about what is it that you're giving. In this case, it would be the prayer itself. So the supplication itself. So supplicate, in a superior way, with a superior intention, and supplicate towards superior objects, superior like recipient. And recipient and object here, these two words now needs a little explanation. I'm not very satisfied yet with objects, but have not been able to find a word that works well here. Perhaps this needs a footnote or endnote. So when you unify the superior recipient. In this case, in this particular case here, it would be the guru as the embodiment of the three jewels. Then the intention. The intention is to achieve Buddha, state of Buddha for the benefit of all. And then the third is the practice of supplicating itself. It says, when you unify this and make your supplications, then you will be free from the three obstacles. So the translation here, I still need to be fixed. So it's basically saying you should unify the three and make your supplications. And when you do that, you'll be free from the three obstacles. So the three obstacles are the obstacles that arises from the three poisons, the kleshas, and then the obstacle that arises from karmic deeds from the past that comes and obstruct. And then the third obstacle is the obstacle to clear seeing. When we are free from these obstacles, then the result of whatever we wish for can swiftly ripen. So if we know how to choose the proper recipient with the proper intention and the proper way of doing it, and we supplicate, then we will be free from the three obstacles, the three obscurations, sometimes called that. And when we are freed from the three obscurations, then the result of what we are seeking can come swiftly. Yeah. Then it teaches. Then this is a supplication that you should make. Yeah. I supplicate that through the blessings of the precious Master, I who am called, and you give your name, may be filled, completely filled, ripened, and completely ripened with the inconceivable primordial wisdom of the Tathagatas. Yes. So Kyobpa Rinpoche says, you supplicate like this, you pray like this. For indeed the Vajra holder has taught. This is basically saying the Buddha. The Buddha in the Vajrayana or secret mantra context is called the Vajra holder, Vajradhara. For indeed the Vajradhara has taught, or Vajradhara has taught, that the siddhis follow after the Master, that the accomplishments come from the Master. So here, this expression "come from the Master," immediately you should understand, this is not in what I would call a theistic way, as in the Master gives anything to you. If the Master can give us wisdom, like literally just, download it into your, mind, then all the Masters in their great compassion have done it. So when it says it followed after the Master, it's saying there is an interdependence linked to the Guru and wisdom. There is a connection there. So if we look in that direction, then we can have the wisdom come our direction. If one abides, so I continue, if one abides in the understanding that the body, the kaya, the exalted form, embodying all Buddhas, is the very essence of the Vajra holder. And the root of the three jewels is the Guru. The Guru transfers himself to you. Again, here it's not saying that right now the Guru refuses to transfer himself to you. It's more that what it's saying here is we are not able to upload what is being downloaded. So in a way, all Buddhas of the three times past, present, future, embodied in all the gurus, are constantly downloading. They're constantly, those radio waves are constantly being broadcasted. But because we have not tuned, our radio to the right frequency, we cannot download. But the way to download is saying to understand that if you are able to abide in the understanding, in the insight, that the essence of the Buddhas, of a Vajra holder, of the three jewels is the Guru, then the Guru transfers himself to you. So again, it's not like the Guru is sitting somewhere going, you are not obedient enough. You are not made me happy enough. I'm not going to transfer myself to you. That's not what it means here. Here, it's saying that you need to recognize. The broader point to not forget also is, and by the way, all beings have this nature too. Okay? All beings have this nature too. But in terms of training on the path, we relate to, rather than just in a kind of vague sense, all beings, we relate to the Guru. So now, a quote. The exalted body, speech, and mind of the precious master, and the exalted body, speech, and mind of all the Buddhas of the three times are an unceasing treasury of spontaneous presence and equality. Equality means sameness, not equality as political rights or this right or that right, but sameness, the sameness nature. So they are equally. So the body, speech, and mind of the Guru and of the Buddhas of past, present, and future, and again, by implication, also all beings. The exalted body, speech, and mind. It's not that it is more in this Buddha or that Buddha, or less in this Buddha or that Buddha, but equally, equal in that sense. And spontaneously present, this treasury, right? And they are spontaneously present, as in, they are present. Whether we recognize them or not is the main issue. And so the exalted body, speech, and mind of the precious master and that of the Buddhas, they are a treasury. They are the source of spontaneous presence and equality. I supplicate that the body, speech, and mind of myself, of the Mara hordes, that means all the obstacles, all the troublemakers, the hordes of Mara, the Mara hordes, and of all mother wandering sentient beings equal to space, may be purified. So that they become the unceasing spontaneous presence of equality, of all the exalted body, speech, and minds of all Buddhas. So this is bodhicitta, right? Another phrasing for the aspiration bodhicitta. So this is the second prayer you should do. You start with the first one, then the second one. Then Kyobpa Rinpoche says, even though you have a modest practice of special insight, so even if you might have already some good understanding of this special insight, but if you do not enhance it, you will not be able to bring devotion to the Guru to its culmination. This expression, devotion to the Guru, to its culmination, to its highest, is talking about, we have already talked about this, in the past, right? Again, it's talking about what is bringing devotion to the Guru to its ultimate. It says, it is not giving the Guru stuff. It is not feeding the Guru. It is not pleasing the Guru in a mundane way. It is to practice the Dharma to the point of seeing the Guru's Dharmakaya, and your Dharmakaya is no different. That is to bring devotion to the Guru to its culmination, to its logical conclusion. It's like the Guru is Dharmakaya, I am Dharmakaya, all beings are Dharmakaya. So if you don't enhance your meditation on seeing the nature of all things, the nature of your mind, but if you don't enhance it with these two prayers, it will not. Your Guru Yoga cannot be brought to its culmination. Thus, use scripture and reasoning or mental contrivance, meaning use any way. If you like to read texts, read text to convince you this is what you need to do. Or if you like to logically think about it, then use your reasoning to think about it. Or even mental contrivance, meaning you can just imagine, oh, Guru is perfect and this and that, that means don't hang out with the Guru too much, because when you hang out with the Guru too much, you're going to find all kinds of faults. It's talking about mental contrivance. To contemplate the purpose behind this tradition of supplicating the Guru. Then give rise to certainty and do the supplications. And do the supplications. So this is a very short teaching, but it says, this is necessary for enhancing our insight. Any questions, comments?
Confused about the very first part,
Mm-hmm.
Specifically the idea of the recipient.
You direct it to the three jewels or the Guru, yes. That's the recipient.
Okay, so it's like the recipient of supplication.
In this case, yes.
Okay.
I mean, what else were you thinking of?
Well, you mentioned about if you make your parents the recipient, and in that case,
Yes. Same, right?
So like supplicating your parents, is that what you're?
No, not in this context. I was given the broader context of Buddha said,
Right.
Giving to your parents produces greater result than giving to a random stranger. that is not equal, who you give to, the result of that giving. In this case, you have to choose the recipient carefully. Yeah, if you supplicate your parents, not so effective. You supplicate your dog, even worse, the result.
So then the intention and then the objects. The objects here, is that like what you're requesting? Like you're requesting
Your supplication itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so in a sense, you're like giving this.
Yes. Again, the context of these three terms is in the discussion about when you want to grow merit, when you want to develop merit. Since time and resource and everything is limited, you have to choose carefully. Don't squander away your time. Don't squander away your resources. And yes, like here, there's a sense of like you should not just simply do what comes to the heart. In a way, this giving is calculated. Of course, the underlying motivation has to be right. It's calculated for, how can this bring greater good to everyone involved. So the intention has to be clear. So in the broader discussion, away from this specific context, and the broader context when these three terms are discussed, it says, for example, objects. Yeah, you cannot steal something and try to offer that. That will be an inferior offering, if not negative offering. That will be stealing.
I have a question about this too. Is in this particular case, it is laying out the specifics of the object or offering, but this also speaks to thinking throughout the day. If we can offer to the guru, it's this, but in doing this, I would think it would help us to be reminded of offering throughout the day other things that we might be enjoying.
Yes.
And remembering.
Oh, yes. Yes.
That, this serves to globalize our intention.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Okay.
And as a supplication, and that's you can say, on cushion practice, and all your on cushions practice should have implications or effect on off cushion life. And so here, right, overtly what you see is in between those two specific supplications or prayers, what you see is first reminding you the qualities of the recipient, which is the guru, which is all Buddhas, which is also related to you. Right? So this whole section, for indeed the Vajra holder has taught, all the way to the guru transfers himself to you. Right? So that is actually a discussion about the field, here translated as the recipient, the field in which you give. Here you're giving the supplication or you're making the supplication. Yeah. Then the intention is discussed in a way in the second prayer, which is that I want, that in supplicating this way, that may my body, speech, and mind, and those of the hordes of Maras, and all wandering mother sentient beings be purified so that it can also achieve the same status or the same result as the Buddhas. So that's the intention. Then the whole thing, the act of making is the object that is offered. So all three of those is present in this short teaching. So the purpose or the intention is so that all mother sentient beings, yourself, all those who bring you grief, those are the hordes of Maras, for them as well. Yeah, so this is just very briefly. So right now, the report is that 20 texts have been translated. And it's slowing down again because they're busy, not so much they're stuck with something they cannot. So this kind of slowing down, it's okay. I mean, people's lives, people get busy. And not so much the getting stuck because the text is too difficult, and that kind of slowing down is a little bit harder to overcome. But we have 20 now. So I want to, on a regular basis, share with you what has been done. So this version, this translation that I just shared, know that is preliminary still. Just in talking about it, I'm seeing certain things that I think I need to go look at the Tibetan and adjust accordingly to convey more the sense of what is being said. I think, very literal reading of the Tibetan and then putting it into English can lose the power of what the original is saying. So it needs some help, some massaging. So we'll take a break now and we'll come back and continue with Gongchik.